It's race week, guys. The Italian Grand Prix is on this weekend, and as this is the second Italian round of the season and the official Italian Grand Prix, in addition obviously to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, RIP, wish it comes back, love Imola, but Monza's the one, baby. Monza's the one that we all look forward to the most. And as this is the true Italian Grand Prix this weekend, I'm going to take a look at the best Italian drivers in the history of Formula One. Now, in recent times, there haven't been that many Italian drivers in F1. Obviously, we've got Kimi Antonelli now. We had Antonio Giovinazzi until not too long ago, but there's not been that many Italians in Formula One. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, and even into the early 2000s as well, there were a significant portion of Italians in Formula One. And if you go way back into the history of F1, back into the 1950s as well, there are some world champions for you to find as well. But who are the best of the best? Who are the best Italian Grand Prix drivers of all time? Here are my pick for 5. Very difficult to narrow down, but this is what I'm going to go with. And this guy could possibly be higher up the list, but I'm gonna put him in number 5 just because of what he achieved in F1 until his untimely passing. I'm of course referring to Elio De Angelis. De Angelis was known as the last gentleman driver in Formula One, and I do believe as well he was a skilled pianist. He raced for Lotus for the majority of his career and managed to get 2 Grand Prix victories in addition to 9 podiums in the sport. He joined Brabham for 1986, but tragically he passed away during a testing accident at the circuit Paul Ricard. Had he lived, I think he would have gone on to achieve more, but personally I don't think he would have achieved too much more than the guys in 3rd and 4th actually did as they completed their careers. De Angelis was an excellent driver, and he was not exactly outclassed by a certain Ayrton Senna when they drove for Lotus in 1985 as well. De Angelis' best result in the Formula One World Championship was driving for Lotus in 1984, where he managed to get 3rd overall in the championship behind the dominant McLarens that season. Very much best of the rest, but he was a damn good driver as well, was Elio, taken far before our time, 28 years of age, wow. Next up, 4th place on the list, and anyone between 3rd and 5th is very interchangeable, not really too much between them in my opinion, but I'm going to go with Michele Alboreto. Alboreto was a very solid driver in Formula One as well. He managed to get 5 victories and 23 podiums during his career between 1981 and 1984. He drove for the likes of Tyrrell and also Ferrari. He also managed to get Tyrrell's last Grand Prix victory as well at the Detroit Grand Prix in 1983. And he achieved what every Italian Formula One driver wants to do, and that is of course go to Ferrari. And he came close to winning the World Championship in a sense in 1985, finishing runner-up to Alain Prost, albeit a very long way behind him in the championship that year. And that was kind of the peak for Alboreto, unfortunately. He stayed at Ferrari until 1988. And then he was kind of middling around the middle pack for quite some time after that. And that is why, unfortunately, I do put him in 4th place overall, because I feel that the achievements of a certain Riccardo Patrese were a little bit more impressive in Formula One. Now, the detractors to Patrese, of course, the James Hunt crowd, I will call them in this one, will say that he only managed to achieve what he achieved because Williams was so good. However, he did manage to get 2nd in the championship in 1992 and also get 3rd in the championship as well in 1989 and 1991. So he was very consistent at the top of the sport. He was not really good enough to win a world championship in my opinion, but 6 victories and 37 podiums. He does kind of go into the Valtteri Bottas, the Rubens Barrichello kind of tier of drivers. Someone who is an excellent number 2 at a top team, but not quite good enough to win a world championship. Patrese was very good, of course. 17 seasons in Formula One. He was the most experienced driver in the history of Formula One when he retired at the end of the 1993 season as well. So impressive for sure. Not quite championship winning level, but these two guys were top of the list, creme de la creme. It's got to go to these two guys. And number 2 on the list, it is the first ever champion in Formula One, Giuseppe Nino Farina. Farina won the first World Championship in 1950 driving for Alfa Romeo. He only made 35 starts in Formula One, but he managed to win 5 of those races and get 20 podiums as well. Very impressive considering that. That's a strike rate of well over 50% at that point, albeit there are some shared drives in there like there was back in the 1950s. If you don't know, don't ask. It's complicated. They count, sort of, but, you know, different times. Put it that way, different times back then. But yeah, Farina was a very good driver in Formula 1, and he continued in F1 for quite some time as well, given his age at that time as well. So, you know, someone who was solid, not quite on Fangio's level. Fangio won the majority of the championships back in the 1950s, of course, but still a very solid driver and deserving of second place on this list because he was world champion at the end of the day. You can't take that away from him. This guy, though, top of the list, was a two-time world champion, and had he lived a little longer, could have gone on to achieve more. You never know. Alberto Ascari. Incredibly, despite winning his second and final championship in 1952, Ascari is still the most recent Italian Formula 1 champion. It has been over 70 years. Can Kimi Antonelli one day put that right? Who knows? Who knows? But Ascari is an absolute legend of motorsport. When you think of Italian motorsport drivers, he's probably one of the first that comes to mind. Of course, part of the Monza circuit is named after him, the Ascari chicane. He managed to get 13 wins and 17 podiums. Only 4 podiums in addition to his 13 wins. That shows you that when he finished, he usually won the race. Just 33 starts as well back in those days. How Formula 1 has changed since then. 14 poles and 12 fastest laps shows that he was indeed a very consistent Formula 1 driver during this time, and he died in a testing accident, I believe at Monza as well, tragically driving a Ferrari, and unfortunately, yeah, he never got to realise his potential, really. He could have gone on to do even more than 2 world championships, you could argue. Of course, Fangio would have been very stiff competition for him during that time, but he could have gone on for more. He could have gone on to more quite comfortably. But yeah, he will remain the best Italian Formula 1 driver for quite some time indeed. I have no doubt about that. An absolute legend of the sport, and he deserves to be top of this list. But yeah, guys, Ascari at the top. Would you go for anybody else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Shout out to the likes of Giancarlo Fisichella, Luigi Fagioli, and of course, Jarno Trulli as well, all winning drivers in Formula 1, but they just missed out. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, guys. Have a fantastic day wherever in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.